Hey, it's Dr. McLean with Vital Energy Chiropractic, and today I want to talk to you about my Uncle Dennis and why your investment in time into your health is so important. So, my Uncle Dennis developed type 2 diabetes, and this is long before he got into chiropractic school, so I don't really understand how diabetes work, but developed type 2 diabetes. It kept getting worse and worse and worse, and he got to the point where he had to go on to dialysis. And dialysis, if I remember correctly, he was going at least twice a week. It might have been more than that, 3 times a week. And it takes hours and hours to do dialysis. So you think about the commitment of time it takes. You have to drive there and you just sit there. You can't do anything. You're doing dialysis for hours and hours and hours, doing this multiple times per week. So did this for a long period of time. And then his kidneys kept getting worse and worse and worse. And he got on the list to get a transplant. And he actually got a kidney transplant. And for a period of time, he actually started doing really well. His health improved a lot, and he was doing very well. But because of their medical treatment model, nobody ever told him, and I'm assuming they knew at that time, they know now, but what was causing his type 2 diabetes. And it's very, very simple. If you know about type 2 diabetes, it's your sugar levels, which can come from processed foods and sugars. My uncle just did not have a good diet. Drank a lot of pop, ate a lot of sugary things. And so even though I got this new kidney transplant, he didn't fix the cause of the problem, so it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And he ended up getting a diabetic neuropathy. He got a sore on his foot. So diabetics can get what's called a diabetic neuropathy. They can have issues with their feet and other extremities. And he got a sore on his foot and he could not heal. It kept getting worse and worse and worse. And they literally had to amputate his leg just below his knee. And so my uncle now couldn't do the work that he was doing before. He was doing fairly physical work. So he lost his job. And my uncle's a very social person, very caring person, very social person, very wonderful. But that was really his social outlet. And so he lost that social outlet. So now he's spending a lot more time at home. And again, things continue to progress worse and worse. This is my dad's brother. And my dad hadn't heard from him for a couple of days, was concerned about him, went to check on him. And my uncle was age 61, and my dad found him slumped over his kitchen table. He had died from a heart attack at age 61. And so I want you to understand, as far as from a time investment, sometimes, all of us, we don't want to do our spinal rehab. We don't want to we don't want to take the time to come and get adjusted. We don't want to invest the money into things with our health, with chiropractic care. I tell people that say, I don't want to go to the chiropractor forever, and I don't want to take the time to do it. I just want to be out of pain. I totally get that, and I totally understand that. And that's human nature. We all want to feel better. We don't want to continue to do the things that are going to get us well. But if you look at the flip side, how much time my uncle had to invest in the treatment of this disease, ruined his life, and then he died at a very, very young age. Now, I think if he would have known, if somebody would have taught him, if I would have known at that time, could have taught him the cause of the problems, he could have changed that. And according to Dr. Mercola, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is 99.9% of the time is 100% reversible. Very, very simple. It's not necessarily easy. It takes some work and commitment, but it's very, very simple. So for yourself, I want you to think about that, of investing the time into your health. And it doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes time consistently invested, and sometimes financial as well. It's a little more expensive to buy a little bit healthier food. When you get adjusted, though, you get that payback. It actually saves you money. It's an investment rather than a cost. And I also want you to think about if you've got a spouse or a loved one, if they're not getting adjusted, if they're not taking care of their health, you are going to have to take care of them when they get older. This is what happened to my mom and my dad. My dad just really started to lose his health as he got older. It was very stressful and very hard on my mom to be able to take care of him. He died a few years ago here. And so you can't make your spouse do things, of course. They have to make their own decision. But if you can talk about that, hey, please come get your spine checked. Maybe their spine's okay, but they don't know unless they get it checked. So think about that investment time. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do that, but think about the payback that you're going to get, and avoiding things like that, having to go to the doctor. It takes a lot of time to go to the doctor, to drive there. It's expensive. It's not fun, and I'm not against the medical practice and medical doctors, but nobody wants to necessarily go there, especially when you're having health issues. So invest in that time, but be excited about that, because the benefits you're going to get and those negative things that you get to avoid. And that's what our goal is here, is to help you be able to have the health that you desire so you can go live the life that you desire.